What's some juicy gossip you just found out in your personal lives? Last and final edit as of 7/21/2019. I have now left this job after far too much bullshit, including me having to deal with constant panic attacks as well as severe depression and anxiety stemming from the constant terrible people I had to deal with every day. I have since moved on to a new job, and as of me quitting on July 12th, 2019, nothing was done against this manager that I know of. I do still have friends working there for the time being, seeing as many of us are quitting in droves who will keep me up to date. But as of now I know nothing. Sorry to make it a lame ending with no outcome, but I needed to get out of that place before I jumped off a cliff or put a bullet in my head. Original post. My office manager has a huge giant mass of our case being built against her because she's been pulling royally shady shit. Last year, some of us had been having issues with system access at my job. Thankfully not me. It's a known issue and it's been getting fixed here and there, but then it rears its head again. Anyway, about 5 or 6 months ago, a friend of mine in another department started losing access. My office manager, who is my boss, she runs the whole friggin' migala, tells this person to go home for the day since you don't have system access, and specifically told that it wouldn't be held against her. So, what the heck? It's not like she can do her job anyway, right? She goes home. This happens about 8 more times where she comes to work and her systems don't work and she is told to go home. Now, fast forward to about 2 weeks before the year ended. The girl who's been being sent home gets called over by her manager and told that she has to sign a final written warning. When asked why, she is told it's because she has used all her FMLA and sick leave. She said that is not possible and asks for proof before signing the document. Her manager pulls up all the times and days it was used, and lo and behold, it was every single time she was told to go home because of system access. This is, of course, illegal as shit. My coworker did not choose to go home. She did not choose to use her FMLA and sick leave. My office manager did that for her. So just about 3 weeks ago, my coworker gets called into our office manager's office and is told that she needs to give up her medical records. Also illegal as duck. She declined and told her she will not do that and is still not signing the final written warning. She then proceeded to call our with all of this, who then tells her, "It's funny you should bring this to our attention because you're not the only one who's called us about things like this happening with her. We're building a case against her as we speak. Shit's about to go down, and I'm ducking here for it. I hate my job, and I've actively been looking for a new one. But part of me wants to stick around to see if they tote her ass off to jail, or the mass shit show that will happen when she's fired." Edit. Woo boy, this got blown out of proportion. I promise everyone, if I'm around for the aftermath, I will update somehow. LOL. No clue how long this case has been being built by our, and no clue how long it will take to come to fruition, but if I'm here for it, and it does, I'll definitely do something to update everyone who's interested. LOL. Edit. To Electric Boogaloo. Nothing so far, folks. I think this case might take longer to build than you, or even I'm thinking. Trust me when I say, I wanna see this come to fruition, just as much as you guys do. Edit. 3/4/18/19. Still nothing, guys. I'm starting to think nothing's going to come of it, or if it is, it's not going to be anytime soon. I will post a new thread in some subreddit somewhere when, and if it happens, providing I still work there. One cousin's wife finally caught his cheating ass. 3 years he's been playing her for a fool, but she actually knew. She just loves him too much. To heard that the arsehole who got me fired got fired because of the email that I sent to the company's VP. Honestly wish I went with filing for a labor case though. 3. Apparently, I'm adopted. Not really sure if the ancestry thing works. I want to find my biological parents. So much stuff is happening. I don't even know anymore. LOL. My sister is pregnant with her 3rd child. 3rd guy. The first father, V, is awesome. He has custody of both their child, and her 2nd no biological relationship to him. The 2nd baby daddy has apparently been threatening my sister and V after learning of the 3rd child, and that V took her in. V and my sister still have a functional platonic relationship at this point, and due to fear of reproach from the second and maybe the third, V has taken both kids, my pregnant sister, and his own so with him out of state to make sure there's no reproach from 2 or 3. V is one of my favorite humans. He treats the second child like his own. Despite no longer being in a romantic relationship with my sister since 2010, Jude is as good as they come, in my opinion. My friend just dropped out of university to become an escort. He's happier, apparently. That my brother asked my mom for a 1,000 for rent. She gave him 1,400 so he could also pay back a loan. Then he turned around and also asked my dad for 1,000 for rent, which he also gave him. He then turned around and used the money to buy tickets to Burning Man. My parents aren't going to lend out any more money without talking to each other first. I just found out my neighbor has been having an affair with another one of my neighbors and the kids figured it out. I used to see them go jogging sometimes. My ex, after 1 week of being single, started dating this SoundCloud rapper. Now she's pregnant with twins. We are still in our teens. I'm a teacher, and apparently I don't pay attention to shit. Last year, my vice principal announced that he would be leaving at the end of the year. Let's call him Mr. Bob. I was shocked, as I liked and respected him a lot. It was well known that he was pretty unhappy, and it had been a tough year. I was confused though, because nobody else seemed shocked or upset. At the end of the year, I thought it would be nice to have everyone sign a card for him. But when I took it around, people started giving me these weird looks. Fast forward to halfway through this year, one of our teachers showed up with a change of her last name. It was now Mrs. Bob. I congratulated her and said I didn't even know she was seeing anyone, to which she laughed and said, "You're so bad." I was confused and shook it off. Long story short, I just recently found out that she and Mr. Bob had fallen in love or something, and he left his wife for her. He literally divorced his wife on a Thursday and was married by Friday. I had no idea until she mentioned his first name and that they were moving out of the state. Looking back on it, I face-palmed so much. His wife at the time also worked for the district, and at one point I ran into her and expressed how much I would miss working with Mr. Bob. She gave me a weird look and said, "Yeah, well apparently he's been pretty miserable." To which my dumbass responded, "Well, let's hope he finds what he's looking for." I assumed it was all about his job satisfaction. I'm such an asshole. Our pastor was having an affair with his cousin's wife. One day while giving a sermon, the cousin storms into church, tackles the pastor and starts to throw haymakers at him. The cousin's wife is trying to pull her husband off the pastor. The pastor's wife quickly figured out what was happening, ran up and clocked the wife from behind, knocking her out. People are trying to separate everyone. Total chaos. Just found out the other week through the grapevine that 2 of my exes are now together. My friends were coming to me like, "Hey, didn't you used to date both of them? How did that happen?" One of them is very mild-mannered and relaxed, and we ended it amicably because we were getting bored. The other one is hot-headed, impulsive, and motivated. That one ended because we both had trouble communicating our grievances in a healthy manner. Given my experience with both of them, I have no idea how they are gonna make it work, but I wish them both luck. My work requires everyone in our group have security clearance. It's boring work and the most basic of clearances. Wednesday, a coworker's desk was completely cleaned out. We were told she lost her clearance and was fired. Weird. Her BFF spilled the beans later. Turns out Sharon had met a man online and they were madly in love, and she cashed out her $401k, her life savings and a second mortgage to send to him. She's 67. To no one's surprise, he's not a real person, and it was all a scam. He claimed he was royalty from Nigeria. Work found out when she started borrowing money from coworkers, and it made its way to our boss. It's very sad, but still. WTF, she was around when the whole Nigerian email scam was around. She should have known better. Eat a grandma. My dad is having an affair. Just found out 30 minutes ago. Mom is devastated, although I had my suspicions. They've been married for 46 years. Dad is 73. A girl I worked with accused me of getting extremely drunk while babysitting her child and told the entire building of people I work with. For starters, I don't drink. She compulsively lies and everyone knows her for that. But I still can't believe it. Oh, and she paid me 10 for watching said kid and then stole it back and blamed it on one of my house guests. Wild. When an ex and I broke up a little over 4 years ago, it was bad. We were both getting clean and on methadone. The things that were said. November of 17. Ex asked a mutual friend if he and his girlfriend could come stay with me since they were homeless. I'm an idiot. I can't say no. I was homeless for 10 or so years. So I know how bad it can be. When I kicked them out, they had stolen so much from me. I didn't have a lot to begin with. The bitch even stole a bunch of my underwear. I literally just found out about an hour ago that she is in jail for possession. Got caught with 40 ounces of liquid heroin. Karma baby. Karma. A year ago my family member 26 discovered that his fiancée 29 of 7 years, who he has 2 children with, had been having an affair with his younger brother, who just turned 18. His brother was living in his house rent-free at the time as well. So his fiancée left him for his brother and had a fling with him for a couple months. The younger brother is basically homeless now, jumping from friend to friend to crash at their houses while working at a job that he makes minimum wage at 7.25 while she is still living under her ex-fiancé's roof. She then decided she wanted to work things out with her ex-fiancé, so they got back together and decided to reconcile the relationship, which left the younger brother furious. Shortly after that, she finds out she is pregnant, but does not know which brother is the father. Her fiancé said he would raise the baby as his own, even if it was not his. So she decides to keep the baby. This makes the younger brother more furious, because she aborted the child before this baby that she knew was the younger brother's. So the younger brother verbally attacks her for aborting that child and keeping this one, because there is a chance it is her fiancé's. She is unemployed during this time. So her fiancé is paying for all of the expenses. Multiply 9 months later, still unemployed. She has the baby, and it ends up being the younger brother's child, and they all try to do co-parenting. The baby is 3 months old now, and my family member's fiancé left him for his younger brother again. My cousin has been together with his wife for 14 years, and has had a girlfriend for just as long. Neither of them knew about the other. He got caught because of an image on Facebook. His wife's sister posted a family picture which my cousin was in and got recognized by his girlfriend's sister's acquaintance. He got away with that for 14 years. I have a coworker I'll call Jess, who always talks about her kids in detail and asks for favors because of her kids, i.e. picking up shifts, asking for rides, etc. One of our other coworker's son goes to the same bar as said girl. She doesn't know who he is, and one night was spilling her guts about how she always takes advantage of her coworkers and that she doesn't even have kids. She doesn't know that we know. One of my workmates found another guy we work with on Tinder, but he's married with a 3-year-old at home, and his bio and photos said nothing about any of that. My ex-wife and I finalized our divorce last June. She's giving birth in a few weeks with the guy she was cheating on me with. If it was anyone else I wouldn't care as much, but since it's this guy, it hurts. Oh, and she invited me to buy them gifts off of their baby registry. So I'm trying to think of the most petty item I could get, though I know I shouldn't show I give a shit. My 2 friends just found out they have the same sugar daddy. They had both been under the impression that they were exclusive with him. Not recently, but the biggest is that Myan got arrested a while back for embezzlement. She didn't do any jail time, I don't think, just has to pay it back. This isn't much of a surprise though, because after the roof of the Blockbuster she managed collapsed, she stole all the candy, lol. Consider subscribing if you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more of Reddit Universe,